Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out the Durin's Folk DLC for Return to Moria. You can find this DLC on Steam and Epic for about 15 bucks or so. I ended up starting from the very beginning again, just to see if any of this DLC bled through in the opening parts of the game, and I'm sorry to say, it was only a little bit. Now, I'm going to tell a story here, just so I can, properly introduce you to various things as I discover them. The first thing I noticed about the DLC as I was playing the game from the beginning is that I was rescuing various dwarves in the environment. There's a total of 4 of them that you can find from beginning to the end of the core game, which I don't want to spoil that too much for those of you that haven't played it, but from beginning to end in the core game, there are 4 new dwarves to find. One is in Orc Town. So I don't know if it's going to be the same for you or not. And then another one was like in the lower deeps. You'll get a little ping saying there's a survivor nearby, go rescue them. And then once you do, you talk to them or you rescue them, and they sort of warp back into nothing until you make something called a rally stone. A rally stone is a temporary dwelling, as it were, I think it's called. And a delve stone. It's like a temporary delve stone. I'll get into that later. Just suffice it to say, it allows you to manage the people living at that location. However, I was only ever able to build one. Okay, and again, I'll get to that later. Now, you can equip your dwarves with gear and a particular tool. They're proficient in different skills. This one might be good at masonry. This one might be good at cooking. This one might be good at digging, whatever. So you need to give them the right tool and make sure that they have the right skill in order to make use of that tool. Or you can give them a weapon and they become a guard. So there are new tools that you can craft, a cook's frying pan, for example. And you'll also see there's an ore canister or container special to these guys so that they only take ore from that location rather than your general storage. However, I went out one time and I came back and they were smelting ore from general storage. I'm like, I thought you were only supposed to take from this over here. So I don't know what's up with that. I came back and all my ore was gone. And that's a problem because, some ore is used in multiple ingot recipes. What if I need this instead of this? You know what I mean? But there's also a delving chest that you can construct, and they'll deposit all of their stuff into that chest for you so that you don't have to go into their inventory and take it from them. So there's that. And my main base was in the mines of Moria, and from beginning to end of the core game, that was fine. I only had the 4 dwarves, nothing really new aside from extra beds for them to sleep in. However, I highly stress you may want to look for something a lot larger because later on, you're going to be constructing some very large structures for this new DLC stuff. Another one that I found was in the upper city. And then the 4th dwarf that I found was in the Gundabad, whatever, encampment. It's an orc encampment. So, and once I rescued the 4th guy, I knew it was the last dwarf because I got a quest saying, good job, you completed this quest. I'm like, that's it, really? And I was thinking to myself, is this all that the DLC has, just 4 dwarves? Turns out, no. You'll be able to recruit more later once you get into the DLC stuffs. But for right now, for the core game playthrough, you're going to have 4 dwarves, at least I had 4 dwarves, that kind of hung out at my base. Now, I set them to guard duty because I didn't want them crafting anything right now. And sometimes they defended my base. If there was a siege, they would come out and start attacking. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. Okay, this is working as intended. Yeah, they're destroying my base a little bit. That's fine. But then another siege came, and they're inside walking back and forth, and I'm sitting outside here, just trying to kill everything on my own. And that was frustrating. I'm like, well, why are you on guard duty then? It worked before. Why isn't it working now? After the siege was over, I went inside to check on them. I'm like, why aren't you attacking? They were assigned to guard duty like they were before. Here they were in relaxing mode. So like in other games involving employees, there's like downtime, there's sleep time, all that stuff. You can't specify the times, but just toward the evening they relax. And apparently they don't, including guards, they will not guard your territory while they are relaxing. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. If your face is getting smashed in, you're going to defend yourself. So anyway, I just proceeded to finish the game, just left them on guard duty, and maybe they attacked, maybe they didn't. And then, like I said, I went through the entire game beginning to end, and I'm trying not to spoil too much for you, but I will drop the name First Hall, because that is where the last room is in the core game. That's where the large doors are when you go to leave this place and finish the game. This game has been out for a couple of years now, plus, so I'm not spoiling too much. But yeah, the Dimril Gate is where you end it. But in the DLC, that's not it, because you'll be able to go beyond those gates and do things as you'll see. But I'll try and stick to chronological order here as far as my discovery of everything. So once I beat the game, I watched the credits, and then it asked me to come back in. And I don't know if this was part of the DLC or not. I don't remember it. There was a pool of purple smoke, the darkness, whatever. And I just had to repair the statue. It said, it was like, I don't know, prepare for Durin's return and seek the endless stair. I don't know if this was part of it or not. I don't think so. But what was new was that I defined 3 signs in the environment as part of the quest. And you'll note that the map is now isometric as opposed to like top down. That's an improvement. However, the mini-map is not reflective of this. Sometimes the mini-map is still that stupid top-down view and encompasses multiple levels. I had to constantly go into this view that you're looking at now to see where I actually was, because my mini-map was no help. So they really need to update the mini-map to reflect the isometric view, because like I was seeing multiple levels in my mini-map. I'm like, can I really go this way? Turns out, no, that's on a different level. That was annoying. The first mark that you'll want to find is spoilers. Durin's Highway. If you go to Durin's Highway, there's a door there. You need to find the first door. And this was not intuitive at all. There was no markers telling me to go here. This was really annoying. It was like, go find this. I had to find 3 markers in the environment with very vague clues. So annoying. The second door I had to find was in the Tome of Kings. If you're looking at the large structure, go to the left, and there's a hidden door there. I have like those warp things all over the place, the warp stones. So getting to and from was very easy. The third one, I believe, was in Durin's Forge. And if you're looking at the chair, you want to go like left. And then you'll have to destroy some debris. The door is behind that. So like I said, unless you like want to explore, I'm saving you a lot of time here. This was very frustrating because I didn't know where to go. The game wasn't very forthcoming with what to do to actually start the DLC. I'm like, so how do I actually start the DLC content? Here I had to find 3 marks, or these doors rather. And from there, I also had to get some of this special material. If you go to Baranzabar, all over the ground there's this is new material that you'll be mining out with a rock, or with a pickaxe rather. They're like little rocks with yellow streaks in them. They're kind of hard to kill, so you need a better pickaxe for it. But it's called pumice, I think it's called. And you'll need that to make glass. And that's important because you can't, once you like find the 3 doors, you'll need to make this glass mirror thing. But first, make 3 mirrored silvers. Just go to any forge, including the one that you can make at home. Make 3 of those mirrored silver. You'll need 3 of them because you're crafting like a large mirror that you'll need to open the door back in Durin's Highway. So if you go back to Durin's Highway, you build this mirror. And I didn't know what I was supposed to do with it until I saw that you could like adjust it, which was nice. I'm like, okay, I built it, now what? It looks like it's pointing at the door. That didn't work. So I'm like, okay, so maybe I have to like reflect the light or something. So I went back to the mirror and I was looking around. I'm like, okay, can I adjust this thing? And it turns out if you look at it just right in the back, yes, you can position the mirror. So you have to like position the light. Like if you rotate it enough, you'll eventually see the light. It's there it is. So there's light coming in from the ceiling, and you'll have to turn the mirror to face the door like that. Great. And then you'll see some writing on it. So that's when you know you've done it right, when you see it on the door there. And then you go up to it and you sing at it. Like you do everything else in this game, you sing at it and it does something. Now in this case, it'll open up the door and that'll take you to Durin's tower. And so Durin's tower, nothing really to write home about here, except on the very top, there are 2 trolls that you have to bat, or trolls, I think. Yeah, trolls. And yeah, if you've got tier 4 stuff, it's not terribly difficult at all. These guys aren't very difficult to beat at all. I use the 2-handed axe, or it's the Nogrod stuffs is what I typically use. I like the spear, but it's really unwieldy sometimes. I like the combat animations for the axe and the sword and shield better. There's also a waystone up there. This is where I ended up making, or mapstone. This is where I made my future base because the mines were too small. Anyway, so from there you could actually go outside the main gates, the double doors in that room, the first hall. You can talk to Eric for a bit. You'll even be able to build a perch for him for your base. You can't really talk to him, but he's there. It's a nice little bonus. But outside, you can talk to dwarves and spend gold in order to recruit them. And you'll be able to see like what skills they have to offer. However, these dwellings that you're building, only the one, because you can only build one, have a maximum of 5 for right now. So like I had 4 and I hired one more and that's 5. So I couldn't hire any more. Now, this is where things got weird. There's something called, it was a larger delving structure that I could put down. And it was too big for the mines. So I put it in the first hall area where the large doors are. And you can only have one. So this was the frustrating part, trying to find a good spot for it. And eventually I'm going to be moving that up toward the Durin's tower. But yeah, like this part was frustrating because it wasn't very intuitive. I didn't know, I tried putting it in my base. I tried getting them to I had the building down, but when I tried to get them to spawn, they wouldn't spawn around this thing, or if they would spawn, they couldn't find their beds. There's a lot of pathfinding issues in small cramped areas. So once you get to the DLC, I highly recommend that you find a large open area. Durin's Forge might be a place. The end room area where the double doors are. That's okay, but it's not great for a large base. I made the mistake of putting down a monument there, which requires a crap ton of resources, but you can't move it or destroy it once you build it. So, like, I wanted to move that up on Durin's tower, but unfortunately I couldn't move it. Even though I moved everything up to the tower here, I moved everything up here, and I still couldn't move the monument. So I had to, like, create 2 of those delving things, and then activate one to move everyone back over here, then activate this one to move everyone back up here. So I had to activate and deactivate them. Very annoying. But every time I did that, it reset their levels. Because these dwellings, they level up. As you, like, in the dwarves, they level up too. So you can't keep moving, you can't keep activating and deactivating to move the dwarves around to do things. I even tried my hand at, like, automation. Like, I wanted to get one of them to go to a vein marker that I was putting down. However, they needed, one of those dwelling things needed to be nearby for that to happen. So, and I tried to put it like a temporary delving thing down. I tried to put the, whatever it's called, the temporary one. I don't remember the name of it. But the Rally Stone, that's it. It's like the temporary one that I was building earlier before the DLC content, and it said still too many delvings. So, like, I want to automate, I want to mine, but the game's not letting me because I only have the one delving. So that was annoying. So, like, this DLC frustrated me to no end because there were issues all around that like I enjoyed the idea of it. I enjoyed the idea of creating an encampment with NPCs that can cook, that can smelt ore, that can go mine. But the mining, there are so many little rules that aren't intuitive that frustrated the heck out of me. And the whole, like, I can only have one. So, like, eventually I guess I'll get more than one delving. And then I'll be able to put a second one down somewhere where there's ore deposits, and then I can have them mine that out. But, like, I just want a button that says go out and get crap. And I want to tell them what to get. There's no in-depth direction on how to manage my employees so I can get them to do what I want them to do. So like I feel like this is a good first step, but as a full-fledged DLC, I'm going to say it's not ready yet. It's not done. So do I recommend this? I like this game overall. This DLC, however, like I'm liking it, but frustration, oh I love it. Frustration, oh I love it. Frustration. It's yeah. So it's new content, new stuffs. I didn't even get to all of it yet. So there's a lot of content here. That being said, I just go in expecting a bumpy ride is what I have to say. So there you go, folks. That was a long-winded review / guide on the DLC Durin's Folk. If you guys haven't already, subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.